Hi everyone. Welcome to Practice English with a Story. Do you want to improve your English effortlessly? Today, we're learning English through stories. Listening to stories helps you understand new words, improve pronunciation, and think in English. So, stay tuned, listen carefully, and let's dive into today's story. A cup of tea for a stranger. In a quiet village nestled in the valley of snow-capped mountains, where winter often came early and lingered long, a young boy named Liam lived with his grandmother. Their home was a small cottage with a thatched roof, warmed only by a modest fireplace and the love they shared. Though they had little, they made the best of what they had, relying on kindness and resourcefulness to get through the bitter cold months. One particularly harsh evening, the wind howled like a restless spirit, rattling the windows and forcing villagers to stay indoors. The sky had darkened, and the air carried a sharp chill. Liam and his grandmother had just finished their evening meal, a simple bowl of porridge, when a soft knock came at the door. It was an unusual sound, for few people ventured out in such weather. Curious and cautious, Liam hesitated before unfastening the wooden latch and pulling the door open slightly. There, shivering on the doorstep, stood a stranger. He was wrapped in a thin, tattered cloak that did little to protect him from the biting cold. His beard was dusted with frost, his hands red and raw, and his breath came in short, visible puffs. The man looked weary, as if he had traveled a great distance with nowhere to rest. Liam turned to his grandmother, his wide eyes silently asking for permission. Without a word, the elderly woman nodded, and Liam stepped aside, allowing the man to enter. The warmth of the fire seemed to embrace the stranger as he cautiously stepped forward, his body sagging with relief. He held his hands toward the flames, rubbing them together in an attempt to restore feeling to his fingers. The boy watched, his heart tightening. He knew what it was like to feel cold, to have fingers so stiff they could barely hold a spoon. Without hesitation, he hurried to the small wooden table where their belongings were kept. Among the modest collection of cups, there was only one with a handle intact, his favorite cup, given to him by his late mother. It was blue with tiny painted stars, and though chipped in places, it held a special place in his heart. With great care, Liam poured the last of their tea into the cup, its steam curling into the air like whispers of warmth. He turned to the stranger and offered it with both hands, as if presenting a treasure. The man looked down, his expression shifting from exhaustion to surprise, then to deep gratitude. His fingers, rough from years of hardship, wrapped around the cup, absorbing its warmth before he took a cautious sip. The silence that followed was thick with unspoken emotion. The man closed his eyes for a brief moment, savoring not just the tea, but the kindness it carried. "You are very kind, young one," he murmured, his voice rough from the cold. "This is the best tea I have ever had." Liam's cheeks flushed, not from embarrassment, but from a quiet pride that warmed him from within. He had not given much, just a cup of tea, but he had given all he could, and in that moment it felt like enough. The stranger stayed for a while, sharing stories of lands beyond the mountains, places Liam could only dream of. His voice carried the weight of experience, yet softened with the warmth of gratitude. He spoke of bustling cities where lights never dimmed, of forests so dense that sunlight barely touched the ground, and of deserts where the sky stretched endlessly above golden dunes. Liam listened in awe, hanging onto every word, his mind painting vivid pictures of these faraway places. When the stranger finally stood to leave, he reached into his coat and pulled out a small, intricately carved wooden charm in the shape of a star. "This is for you, young one," he said, placing it in Liam's palm. A reminder that even the smallest kindness shines like a light in the darkness. Liam watched as the stranger disappeared into the night, his heart swelling with an emotion he could not yet name. From that night on, he kept the wooden star close, a symbol of the power of small kindnesses. And though the tea was gone, the warmth of that moment never faded. As the years passed, Liam grew into a man known for his generosity. He opened his home to those in need, always remembering the night a simple cup of tea had made a difference. He never forgot the lessons the stranger had unknowingly imparted, that kindness needed no reward, and that the warmth of a single act of compassion could outlast even the coldest of winters. One evening, decades later, a knock came at Liam's door. The village had changed. Roads were smoother, houses sturdier, but the bitter cold remained. Liam, now older with silver streaks in his hair, opened the door to find a weary traveler standing in the snow, his eyes filled with the same exhaustion Liam had once seen long ago. Without hesitation, Liam ushered him inside. He did not ask where the man had come from or how far he had traveled. Instead, he reached for a cup, the very same blue one with tiny painted stars, now more worn but still intact. He poured steaming tea into it, watching as the traveler wrapped his fingers around the warmth, just as another had done many years before. The traveler looked at Liam with gratitude. "This is the best tea I have ever had," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. Liam smiled, a deep warmth filling his chest. The cycle had continued. The kindness that had once been given to him had found its way to another, proving that even the smallest acts of compassion could ripple through time, changing lives in ways one might never expect. That night, as Liam placed the wooden star on the windowsill, he understood fully. The warmth of a single cup of tea, given freely, could last a lifetime, and perhaps even beyond. That was today's story. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Now I have a challenge for you. Comment below your favorite new word from today's story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with friends who want to improve their English. See you in the next lesson. Keep practicing and keep learning. Bye for now.